So you think confidence is about being fearless, about walking into a room and not caring what anyone thinks? Or maybe you think it's being loud, bold, or dominant. The guy that always says the right thing, looks the part, gets the girl, closes the deal. Nah, let's kill that right now. Hey, I'm Kyle, and welcome back to your channel. I'm a master NLP practitioner, a master success coach for men who are done pretending and ready to actually feel like themselves again. And I'm also a man who used to think confidence meant one thing: never showing weakness. But I learned something, and I learned it the hard way. And I really want to give it to you straight. Confidence isn't a personality trait. It's not a performance, but it's a relationship with yourself. And until you fix that relationship, nothing you do on the outside will stick. You'll still feel that weight on your chest. You'll still feel like you're acting. You can build all the muscle that you want. You can memorize all the affirmations, climb every damn ladder. But if deep down you don't trust you, you'll always feel like a fraud in your own life. So, I want to tell you a story. A few years ago, I was at dinner with a group of men that you'd probably look at and think, yeah, they've got it. One ran his own business, one worked in tech, one was a former athlete. Now, there were other men at the table, but these were the three that I was sitting closest to, and really one of them said something that stuck out. So, all of these men that were sitting there, like, they had all the ingredients that you'd associate with success: status, money, charisma, um, leadership. But here's what happened. Midway through the evening, the conversation shifted, naturally to relationships. And the one guy, the entrepreneur, he got quiet for a second. Now you could see something shift in his face. And then he said, I don't know how to stay connected. When I start catching feelings, I always screw it up. I get resentful or I go cold. I don't know why I do it. I just do. And the whole table went silent because every guy sitting there knew exactly what he was talking about. Now, this wasn't a confession, it was a truth bomb. In that moment, I realized something. Confidence isn't loud, it's honest. And most men really don't know how to be honest, not with themselves and not with anyone else. Because, we've been trained that confidence is a look, it's a tone, it's how you carry yourself. But let me ask you something. Have you ever stood in front of people and still felt invisible? Have you um have you ever been praised for how put together you seem while you're just slowly falling apart on the inside? Because that's not confidence. That's survival. That's what I like to call high functioning emptiness. You're crushing it externally, but inside you're just disconnected. Now, I have helped quite a few men regain the confidence that they thought they had lost. I've walked alongside them as they have come back to who they were. And I'm going to tell you right now, I love watching the light bulbs go off when they realize that the confidence had been there the whole time. It just took someone like me guiding them back and really believing in them to find it again. See, we've confused confidence with performance. We think that if we just look the part long enough, maybe we'll eventually become it. But, that's not confidence. That's compensation, right? That's pretending. That's gripping the mask so tightly that it actually becomes a part of your face. It's it's really over controlling your image so nobody ever sees the parts that you haven't even accepted in yourself yet. And you want to know what's underneath that mask? Usually it's the belief that I'm not enough as I am. And that belief, it doesn't go away when you get the title. It doesn't disappear when she says yes. It doesn't dissolve when the bank account hits that number that you're looking for. You want to know when it shifts? When you stop abandoning yourself and start aligning with your truth. Hey, just a brief interruption from your video to tell you about a fantastic opportunity. Do you ever feel like you're doing the work, but nothing's actually shifting? Like you're journaling, meditating, watching all the videos, but still circling the same patterns. It's not because you're broken. It's because the shift doesn't happen in isolation. You don't need more information. You need activation. The Inner Shift Society is the space where that happens. 2 1-hour calls a month, live on the second and fourth Tuesday. One call to learn and one call to coach. For just $17 a month, you're not just joining a group, you're stepping into momentum. We get into real work. This is belief rewiring. This is about nervous system work, decision making, identity, and ownership. Now, this would normally cost you $500 for 2 hours with me. I'm not going to make you pay $500 though. I am offering this because I want to help and reach more people that know there is something more. People like you, and you just don't know where to start. This this is your entry point. You're one shift away from who you've been trying to become. This is your space to make it real. Come join other like-minded people much like yourself. Click the link in the description and join us inside the Inner Shift Society. And now, back to our video. So let me ask you this, and I want you to be real with yourself. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately shrunk? Okay, I'm not talking about physically, but emotionally or, even energetically. You held back from saying what you really wanted to say. You maybe you smiled when you didn't feel like it. You you might have laughed at a joke that made you uncomfortable. Um, you gave the safe answer instead of the honest one. That's not weakness. That's survival strategy that you learned a long time ago. But I want you to understand here's what that does to you. It creates a quiet war between who you really are and who you think you have to be. And that war, that's really the root of fake confidence. But real confidence, it's not about certainty. It's not about outcome. It's not about image. It's about congruence, right? So, does the man I show the world match the man I am when no one is watching? Right? That's the question you need to ask. Because when those two forms align, that's where your real power comes from. If you've ever said to yourself, something like, I should be more confident by now. Um, why do I still feel insecure even after everything I have achieved? And a big one that I hear is, why do I feel like an imposter when I speak up? So I want to offer you this. It's not that you lack confidence, it's that you're out of relationship with yourself. So confidence starts the moment that you stop abandoning yourself. You know, every time you speak your truth, even when your voice shakes, every time you say no, even when, it'd be easier to people please, every time you stop worrying about being liked and, really, start choosing to be real, that's the shift, right? That's when you stop performing and you start becoming. So I want you to take something away from this today. And here it is. Confidence isn't built in front of an audience. Okay? It's really built in silence, It's built in those private moments where you really choose yourself, where you speak the truth, set that boundary, feel the fear, and you move forward anyway. That's not arrogance, right? That's alignment. You were you were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be powerful. And power doesn't come from being right. It comes from being real. So, if you've been feeling like a fraud, like confidence keeps slipping through your hands no matter how hard you chase it, maybe it's time to stop chasing, right? And start coming home to yourself. Now, if this video cracks something open inside of you, good. Give the video a thumbs up and share it with a fellow brother who needs to hear this. Let them know that they are not alone. Drop a comment and let me know what you have been avoiding. And don't forget, subscribe for yourself. And if you're ready to stop performing and start leading from truth, download the free tools below in the description. Join one of my men's coaching groups or reach out to me to work one on one. You're not broken, you're becoming. I'll see you in the next one, brother. Take care.